All right, we are live for the 125th episode of the
Let's Go podcast. We're back. It's been a while, but we're back. 125, 1.25. And if you're a softball player anywhere in New York, in the Sunday morning league, in the night league, in the HSL league, this podcast is for you. In the last 2 weeks, I think we have been through more HSL softball drama than we have in the past 24 months combined. It's been fun. It's been thrilling. And one of the sources in the one of many HSL dramas that's going on are on this podcast. We got Chewy and Adam along with Jack, all part of a huge league-breaking move that we're here to talk about. Dave, why don't you take it away?
Well, first of all, very special welcome to our guests. This is the first time we got Chewy and Adam at the beginning of a podcast. Usually they pop in for cameos. Adam bills $18.95 an hour. Chewy's got 9 different leagues he's competing in, all except HSL. It's hard to get either of them. So a very special welcome to them being here at the start of a podcast. And little Jack Ross is an old friend. He's been here from the beginning before. I think this is the 3rd or the 4th. So we'll get to you last. Also, because you're so little, you come last in the hierarchy. But welcome, guys. We're very excited about the new team, and it's adding a lot of life, injecting more life into the Sunday morning situation.
Yeah, no, we're very excited about it.
You speak more about it because I gave them a little bit info last week. But the real captains are on, Adam and Jack.
No. This is a a team-run team. And first of all, just coming on here quickly, I want to say that in no way do we want to reflect poorly on the Bombers. We think that is an incredible organization, and we've loved playing for them for these years, and we had success with them, and we remain great friends with them, and we're still playing with them in other leagues. And we still think they're a great team and they have a chance to win. But we thought that this was, an opportunity following our Shul season, as Shuey mentioned previously, to sort of continue that success and keep that team together in a different league. So that's really where this thinking came from. And, we're looking forward. I mean, it sounds like there's a couple of very good teams in this league. I know, there's some drama around Avi's team right now from last season, which was surprising to me. But, we're really looking forward to a competitive Tier 1 season. So I think
let's get right into it, Adam. Speaking of competitive Tier 1, and I know you don't have so much time, I was given a list of questions by an anonymous source, and he wanted to know, first of all, how many singles landed in front of Adam Ofman in the finals in the spring last season?
I hear you. Wait, so I'm trying to think. So how many singles? Which game is that? Is that the night league or is that the Sunday morning league?
I think the Sunday morning league.
Got it. I don't remember. Wait, so who did we lose to? Oh, we lost to Avi's team. I don't think they know. I was
there. I was watching. I don't recall many singles falling in front of him.
Yeah, no.
We were no hit in game 1 till 1 out of the 7th inning.
What's that?
I said we barely had any hits. We were no hit in game 1 of the championship till 1 out of the 7th inning when the infield.
Yeah, I don't remember that. So I don't recall that one.
Okay. So maybe it's just a sour source. The next question is, does Jack Ross have to cover a lot more ground in right center field when Adam Ofman is in left center field?
I guess we'll have to see this coming season.
What was your positioning last?
I don't know, Adam. Do we even have to say it? Like, I'm so confident that Adam can cover enough ground in the outfield that I'll just go to third base. Like,
yeah, right. Exactly. Jack's not even playing the outfield.
Jack's not playing the outfield. What is?
And that's something about. Listen, I don't want to focus. Yeah, I can listen. This narrative about defensive range, all that kind of stuff. Like, I guess we'll have to see. And the beautiful thing about this is that at the end of the day, we're going to play on the field, and we'll see what happens. And maybe offline we'll talk about who sent these questions. But this is fantastic. But I think
the last question is the real reason why Adam Ofman left the Bombers because he was going to be stuck in right field this season.
That's amazing. Again, all these questions are great.
Jack Ross will be at third. As I said, Jack Ross will be at third base. And someone mentioned in the chat about the greatest shortstop third base combo, Zen and Rokoff. I'm sorry. I'll take Jack Ross and Gavi Dector any day of the week. So I don't know what we're talking about. Jack Ross will be at third base, and yeah.
Apparently, I probably shouldn't have said that comment in the chat because apparently some people thought that I was being negative by doing that. But that's my belief. That's my genuine belief, and I wanted to write it as a thankful note, But I do believe it. We'll see what happens. Jack, you have something to prove now.
But I do, but as far as these questions about my range in the outfield, I guess we'll see. I think I'm still in a pretty good place to play an excellent outfield. who knows? At the end of the day, if I have to shift back to the infield where I began my career and where I feel comfortable, that's fine as well. But I think we'll.
Adam played a championship shortstop on the Black Sox this past summer.
Right. Yeah. So again, like we'll have to see how that plays out. But I think I just focusing back on our team. I think the what the beautiful thing about this team is, again, it's our Shul team, but I think it's a very nice mix of great bats, great power. We got speed. We have defense across the board, and and I think just the way that the team is constructed and the group of guys that we have, I think we're feeling pretty confident that we're going to be pretty successful.
You think you're the team to beat?
Absolutely.
Wow. Avi, where would you put them in the power rankings currently, now that your team's been demoted? I was arguing with Avi in the it's still the off season, but before the hot stove started, I was saying that I think the Bombers should be the one in the power rankings because they lost the championship in 3 games 2 years in a row. So, it's kind of like they were right on the cusp 2 years in a row, and both other teams that might be the number one lost in the semis. So I was like debating, and I was like, no, I'm number one. I'm for sure number one in the power rankings.
Yeah, no, I'm also curious to see. I mean, listen, I'm also curious to see what the Bombers. Obviously, the Bombers are going to look different this season, so we'll see how they, fill the slots. I'm sure they'll do a good job of that. No, I feel pretty confident. I mean, barring injury, I think our team is constructed in a way that we should be successful for a good period of time going forward.
Avi, what do you think? Who do you have as number one in your power rankings currently?
Well, first of all, now my team is ranked NA, so you can mark that down.
Yeah.
Second of all, I think it has to be Kaufman. I love Adam and Chewy's roster is stacked. They're amazing. They're really talented. And last year was dysfunctional. Their team, no one showed up. 2 years ago, they showed up and they won. I don't know what they're going to do at positioning because they have guys like Archie. Where's Archie going to play? If Zidane, Rokach, and Nenner are there every game, what's Archie going to do?
Yeah, you stick Archie at first base.
No, well, Avi Nenner's there. Archie's not going to come to DH. I don't know what they're going to do with all their players.
Right.
Lowen's joining their team also claims he's playing second base, but they have a bunch of other infielders. I don't know. I'm not sure, but based on if you're looking at the rosters, you have to, I think, tip the hat to Kaufman. But again, it's much more than a roster, so I have to do a little bit more digging, a little more research, see where positioning is going to fall out, and we'll give it a proper ranking.
I guess we don't know what their roster is either because they're obviously going to be cutting 4 or 5 people. They have
to. Steve claims that Matt Rosenberg is going to be a regular, or at least as close to regular as possible.
And he told me that, and I said that's fantastic. Like, let's go.
Yeah. So you have
like
to
that. Building the league, making that team better. Bring it.
You have to see what Steve's team does, and also the Robins. They're a bunch of kids, but every year they get better and better.
Very sneaky team. Very sneaky team.
Always absolutely locked down. Ariel gets better and better as a pitcher every single year. So you never know. Then Blisco's trying to build up. There's a lot of moving pieces here. Shlomo Ross also, obviously these teams probably aren't on the top half of the tiers, but there's a lot of movement depending on how rosters. There's a lot of move now that my roster is sort of out. There's a lot of moving pieces still. We'll see how things finalize. But I do think that any of these, if I had to tell you right now, I'd say I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if either Adam and Chewy's team or Kaufman's team or the Bombers go 7-1 and win a championship, or 6-2 win a championship. I wouldn't be shocked. They're all that talented. It's impossible to.
I just also want to specifically mention just the guys that we sort of, quote unquote, poached from other teams. Those were specific choices that we made to fit spots on our team. We feel great, obviously, about Noah, fantastic player. Menachem, thrilled to have him with us as well. We were really excited that we could pick him up. I know Tuvia was not happy about that. Then, and Mikey also catching, perfect fit.
What did Tuvia say? What did Tuvia say?
Tuvia, we actually took 2 of them. Well, I think we took 2 of Tuvia's guys, right? We took Menachem, but Gabi was our Shul team, so that was sort of part of it anyway. But really looking forward to it. What is it? It's January 16th. Wow. So we're getting close.
Less than 2 months out of March 15th. We're going to be out there in the 48-degree weather.
It's almost time to break out the tee and the batting net, and we'll get going. So, it's funny, when Steve in the chat, when he's going on about how the Bombers going to be better than ever, we love Steve and we'll see. And, I don't think he's specifically throwing shade at the 3 of us on this podcast right now, but, it'll be fun. I've played with Steve and against Steve for many years, and it's always a fun time with him. I think, yeah. Sorry.
So why don't you guys walk us through the origin story of the Rebels? I'm calling you the Rebels for now because as long as I've known you guys, you've been playing for the Bombers, and it's I don't know, you're sort of, they're the old guard in a way, and that's just the lens through which I kind of was perceiving the thing. You guys are kind of rebelling. I know that's not what it is, but it just sort of felt that way.
I mean, it was really just the oranges, like Shuey said last time, and you guys can jump in also, Shuey Jack. But it was just that we felt that our Shul team was a good time and successful and played well together, and And that was really it. As far as this perception that we're Bombers lifers, like we played for the Bombers for a long time, but there was a long time before that we didn't play for the Bombers. We were playing against the Bombers. So this is not, like new territory for any of us.
Is
I
it
agree,
true
by the
that
way.
Glenn Zuckerman taught you guys everything you know about hitting, or that's not accurate?
So that will be one of the biggest. That will be very interesting. Now Shuey, Adam, and I won't have 9 other hitting coaches, so we'll see how our average or RBIs or home runs.
Is there a lot of that? Is there a lot of that on the Bombers, getting advice from the old timers, what
The
you
vets?
should and should?
Yeah,
There's a lot of veterans.
a lot of vets.
A lot of vets, a lot of voices.
A lot of Eric Chavez's.
Eric Chavez. Ay, Nebuch, the Mets. Ay, Nebuch.
Oh boy. All right. Anyway, I wish I could stay on longer. This is actually fun, but I have to get some work done.
So Adam, are you going to show up for all the games this season, or are there going to be game time decisions? I know your track record isn't always the
Sunday
greatest.
mornings. No, I'm perfect Sunday mornings.
All right.
Sunday mornings I have a perfect track record, and actually I plan to, my Monday nights also feel pretty good about this year. But Sunday mornings, like barring injury, like we're feeling, I'm pretty good about my attendance about those games. I think most teams I play with will attest to that.
We're always stuck, Dave, of whether we should do an opening game, rivalry. And Pollen's always like, "Why are you making the best games in the 35 degrees?"
But I will say, as far as bulletin
cold.
board material, I love the 3 questions that I was asked to open this, and I will remember.
I needed to get them in before you left.
Absolutely, I will remember. And
I actually had one more. If
Absolutely.
I'm not, this is a statement more than a question. If I'm not mistaken, Ofman made the last out in 2025, and Jack Ross made the last out in 2024 in a big spot.
We also made the last out in 2025.
Oh, it's Shuey, not that.
That's Shuey and Jack. That's Shuey and Jack.
It was me.
And the pinch hitter to try to remind me of 2022. But
trying to catch lightning in a bottle.
That's right. Jack flew out to left center in 2024. Would you look
that
at
ball? That was actually a shot. I thought that had a chance to split the gap.
Yeah.
I think Noah caught it, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
As a younger man, as catch.
Oh, Ezzy.
From right center field.
As man, as
Yeah,
catch.
that was a great shot. I thought that was out also when I was videoing it live, my voice.
All right. Anything else for me, or that's it?
That's all the trolling. I'm sure there'll be a lot more as the season goes along. I actually. I'm not even gonna read this one. All right, we'll see you soon, Adam. We'll save it for
Talk to me. Let's go. I'm here.
Wise, read it.
Adam mentioned in the HSL community. Oh, there's 2 more actually. Adam mentioned in the HSL community that he needs to be locked in for the podcast because Steve will be paying attention. Tell him that Steve wishes that Adam was similarly locked in during the playoffs last season. The last one is actually at Edelman. Now that Edelman has been sent out to pasture, shouldn't the HSL podcast have a new logo? Maybe Tuvia Blisco hitting his leg with his glove while pitching.
I'll see you guys later.
We'll see if you guys figure out the origin of all this.
All right, sweet to you. Bye.
Bye, Adam. So it's down to Shuey and Little Jack Ross. So you guys played together. Oh, I meant to ask Adam how his call with Steve went, because I'm really curious about that. I forgot about that. If Steve was totally blindsided, or I don't know if you guys know, but it's a sensitive issue.
I'm not 100% sure how it went. I never got the actual run.
You wouldn't have gotten anything out of Adam either, Dave, so I don't think it would have helped too much. I tried as well. I couldn't really get
I think we got a text that said went well.
I was surprised by something Adam said about moving back to shortstop. I always consider left side of the infield much harder to find top tier talent than the outfield. I feel like there are almost no tier 1 shortstops that exist, period. Like there's 3, maybe 4 of them, whereas there are plenty of outfielders to go around. I'm not saying everybody's on the same top level of talent, but in terms of building teams, it just seems like shortstops are much harder to find. I don't know if you guys have the same experience, and third baseman.
Yeah, I mean, Adam's not going to shortstop. He's staying in the outfield. Adam will be fine in the outfield. Adam's very good in the outfield. He's got long legs. He can move. He's not as fast as he used to be. But no, our left side of the infield will be Gavi Dector and Jack Ross. And again, I'll continue to say this. Fielding-wise and hitting-wise, I don't know anyone better than both of them. I've been playing with them for many years. And I don't think I would rather have another combo than them too. So it's pretty easy decision for us.
Who's going to be at second and at first?
First base is TBD. It was supposed to be Yakov Goldstein, but he may not be able to play. We do have a pretty good sub coming in for him, if that is what's going to happen. So I'll wait to comment on who that's going to be. And then off. Oh,
No,
Wait,
you're
can you say that again?
Jack,
Yeah, we lost you on that one.
where did I
but-
get cut off? That second. I said
Yeah,
Shy's at
second
second base for us, correct?
Second base will be
Yeah.
Shy, yeah.
Cyrus Limsky.
Yeah, Shy will be at second, and then you have
Shy
Shuey,
played with us.
Nachum,
Shy played
Adam,
with
and
us
Noah
in the
outfield.
Shul League. Right.
Got it. That's a stacked squad. That's a really, really stacked squad. It's a really competitive squad. I definitely think it's, definitely you can't say any team is above, or at least a decent amount above that. Like it's a really competitive and a good mix of awesome outfield and infield, and also powerful hitting, which again, there's not a lot of in the A-League. Like whether or not you have a stacked lineup, it's very hard to score runs, especially against high-level teams. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm very curious about that. I don't think any A-League team averaged more than 3 runs or 4 runs a game against the other A-League team Sunday mornings the whole season. I mean, the championships alone, the scores were like 1-0, 2-1, and 4-1 or something. Like there was barely any run in the semifinals that we had with the Robins. It was 2-1 in extra innings, 1-0, and then 5-4 or something in the third game. Like I don't know what your scores against Cal were in the semis, but hitting is very hard to come by, which is also exactly why like the way you win in this league, it's Sunday morning specifically. I don't know if because guys are tired. Even Monday nights is not a lot of scoring. I think it's less Sunday mornings. The way you win is with elite fielding, like absolute elite fielding. That's how you build your team, at least from my experience. That's what makes or breaks championship teams. That's what I had. That's how we won it. We didn't win a championship from hitting. We averaged literally 2 runs a game, not only in the playoffs, but also in the regular season. We barely scored ever. We barely got any hits. Never mind scoring. No hit us to 1 out in the 7th inning of the first game of the championship. Ariel Cohen, in 2 of the 3 semi games, we didn't get a hit till the 5th inning plus. So we never ever hit. The reason we only won them is because of absolute elite defense and me not walking guys. So I think that's the way to win, and I think ultimately that's what it'll come down to differentiate the top 3 or 4 teams, which is, by the way, why I continue to say the Robins are still very much in the discussion of championship contenders. Yeah, they might not have the bats that everyone else has, or even close to the bats they have, but you could put them defensively up there with any other team. I'm not saying as good or better, but definitely up there, which is why I think even the Robins have a legitimate chance still of winning a championship in Tier 1.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good point. Now, I have a question that somebody just sent in, somebody's watching, and I'm going to then lead to a broader discussion. So Mordy Abittan wants to know. Oh, actually, he said anonymously. Too bad. My bad. Abittan wants to know, I'd like to know how they poached Menachem. Did Menachem Greenberg hesitate at all before leaving us? Sorry, Mordecai. I love Mordecai. I'm just a little overtired. I missed the anonymous.
That's another Adam question. Adam did it, but
Adam did. So Adam does all the dirty work, Shuey, huh?
Adam did the poaching for Menachem. Jack spoke to Noah, right? Jack, you spoke to Noah.
Yeah.
What a shock, Little Jack.
Little Jack
I
spoke to Noah.
Sabak. And again, the rest, the Shul guys are the Shul. So,
Shuey, do you know why we call him Little Jack Ross?
No, I was gonna ask. I don't know why.
There's a guy in the basketball league, a very, very mouthy, very, very trash talky Bukharian named Jeffrey Suleimanov, who's actually a great guy. He's really fun. You get a big kick out of him. Apparently he boxed out Jack in a game somehow, and then he turned to Jack.
Which is very hard to do.
Very hard to do. Jack must have been half asleep, and he called him a little ass, Nigga. So
really,
Jack reported the story, and he's like, nice box out, but you're like 5'4", So we started calling him Little Jack after that.
I actually think that's like an advantage when I was thinking about it, is just because like he's
the
so
center
much
of gravity.
He's just so much lower than me that it's just like I can't.
He gets under you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
good. All these questions about poaching, it's just interesting to think about. Actually, I don't know if it's the best thing to get into, but like the old guard last night in one of the chats, Chewy, I guess you weren't an all-star. You're not in the. What? Chewy was injured. Yeah. It's talking about the old guard saying the young guard has no loyalty. Everybody's hopping teams. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't really know. I don't really know if you guys have a feeling or a sense about what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. I don't really know. It's, I guess, kind of an evolving situation. And other people were also pointing out that Avi, to his credit, and I'm assistant to the commissioner with my special assistant to the commissioner, It created, there's so much competition, so much drama surrounding every game, which is a great thing. People get really excited. It's a big outlet for people. It's a big release for people. People have shitty lives where they work 20 hours a day and they get to have a little fun. So they get really into this stuff. So, somebody was saying, sort of in a way, through Avi's influence, it also made these things more likely to happen because people are so much more into it, which I think is also a good point. So I don't know if you guys have any general thoughts on the matter, but that's my, I don't know. I'm just kind of just free associating.
It goes. I mean, again, we did this just to bring back a good team. That's really all. I don't know why Rukach and Zinn left, whatever their reasonings were. But it's very simple. We're just bringing back a good team, and we believe we have a better chance of winning with this team. And we had a great time with this team, and everyone got along. Not that I'm saying everyone got along with the Bombers also, but it's just a good team, and we have a lot of confidence in them. So that's really it. It's pretty simple.
I do think it's interesting
new guard.
though, Shui. It's like is if you bring in a new team to the league versus if you're just jumping from one team to another. So like if we went from the Bombers to Kaufman's team, just to try to win versus like bring back a team that we've already played for. Is that a different situation? Like, is that viewed differently by people?
I'm not going to comment because I don't know what other. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a little different. Yeah.
But think of it as think about it. Monday nights, right? Right when the whole Rokach Zinn Monday night team was made, right? All the focus was on Kone going from one team to the other. Nobody said a thing about Rokach and Zinn and Menachem Naiman making a new team. They were all in. Like, I don't know, like there wasn't a lot of drama around that. I think it's complicated because the word poaching, it's not really, you can't define it because what does poaching mean? Say, hey, Jack Ross, I really think you should come to my team. It's a great team. And then Jack will say, I wasn't poached. I wanted to go to his team. I thought about it. It was
the Met just got Bo Bichette.
Wow.
Sorry.
Breaking news on the podcast. Bo Bichette to the Mets. Were the Yankees in consideration for him, either him or Cody Bellinger, whatever happened?
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry about that, Avi. Continue.
No.
At least Steve Cohen did something this year besides his casino.
No, but my point is, it's very hard to find poaching. Like, at the end of the day, I can be poached all I want. If I ultimately say that I decided I think it's better for me to go to that team because it's a better fit for me, like, was he poached or not? Now, if the guy would never approach him, would he have ever left? Nobody can. No one knows the answer to that. So it's
by the way, just one thing, not to bash on Zinn in any way, but like, was this his team? Like, wasn't he the captain? Wouldn't it be easier for just him to say like, Avi, we don't want you to pitch for us anymore?
Well, it was sort of his team. He was sort of the on-field captain. I was still really.
I guess did you put it together and he was the on-field captain, or like was this a team that he put together?
The way the team came together, backstory was the Black Sox. Shmuel Rado, we were on the Black Sox, and we would get crushed by the Bombers like everyone would every year. And when he got me on the team, I'm the type of competitor that I want to win. And I slowly added different pieces every year. When the HSL took over 2 years ago, and we split into two tiers, we realized that our Black Sox, quote unquote, Black Sox team is not going to win in tier one. I wanted to go to tier one. I kept on putting new guys in every year. And, in the split year, the Black Sox took the quote unquote weaker guys and went to tier two. We took the stronger guys and added other guys. It was a 5-year process of us building and building and building and building until we got to the point where we won a championship. I was super excited. I think everyone on our team was excited. I just got a minute and a half voice over from Shirley Freeman. He's very much not on his phone. So
yeah, me too. He also just left me a voice.
I'm sure he's reading through this now. I'm sure he's also shocked. It's just upsetting. The honest answer is it's upsetting and it's sad. There are different perspectives, right? Certain perspective is just softball. Like, what do you mean? I want to try something new. It's a new opportunity. It's a new chance for me to win with a different team. Like who am I to tell somebody like you're so mean? Like they're making their own decision. But there's also the perspective of, we started in the league 5 years ago together. Every year we built this team to the next level. We finally won a championship. We're 7 weeks now away from starting our repeat to win a championship, and then poof. So there's different perspectives of people like who actually consider it more than just softball, and people don't consider it more than just softball. People consider it's just softball, and I want a new team. And okay, so I'm leaving your team. Like, so find 2 more guys. Who cares? Like, what's the big deal? I personally didn't. That's not how my brain works. My brain works. I put a lot of effort and energy into building this team. It's not easy to win a championship Sunday morning in the HSL. We finally did it. And losing the guys I lost, I just don't have the energy to construct the team once again in a way where I believe it's worth it for me to put all my energy into win a championship. I would love to. I don't have the energy for it. So that's the basic situation and what played out. Again, I can't control other people. People have their own logic and their own thoughts. I can't tell you what's right or wrong. I can just tell you my feelings about it and why I was a little upset. That's all. And again, Zin and Rokach are allowed to do what they want to do. They're big boys. They're allowed to make their own decisions. You can't get upset at them for making their own decisions. I could be upset about what happened, and that's basically my logic, and that's sort of how it played out. I still don't know why. Like, they told me that they wanted to try something new. Like, I can't judge. I'm not allowed to judge what their thoughts are. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Who am I to
Well,
say?
this also gets into another discussion, which is also very interesting, with Abittan, this time not anonymously mentioned, which is, and this is something we're starting to struggle with in basketball also, is that there's something about this differentiation between A-League and B-League, and A-League sort of clustering into what I call super teams. Like, I don't know if A-League, like, the way A-Leagues are being constructed, you know, Avi would talk to me about his roster, you know, and he'd say, oh, I need a new person at this position. I need a new person at this position. I'm like, this guy's a fine right fielder. This guy's a fine third baseman. He'd be like, no, but he's not elite. So I was like, kind of like, well, do you need elite at every position to be in the A-League? Is that what A-League means? So, like, you could go to the Bombers. You could go to the we'll see how the Bombers' final roster construction is. You could go to your team, which I've been calling the Rebels affectionately. You could go to Kaufman's team. Every single person on the roster wouldn't be out of place on an all-star team. Is Yaakov Goldstein a league all-star? Yes or no? But if you put him on your league all-star team, he's not going to embarrass himself, you know. Who else on your team do I know that wasn't an all-star last year? Gavi Dechter, Menachem Greenberg. Menachem Greenberg's not embarrassing himself in the all-star game. Gavi Dechter is not embarrassing himself in the all-star game, you know? Like, so similarly, Avi's team, a guy like Aaron, Ehrlich wasn't on your team last year, but
Jakob Sabo
is not embarrassing himself. So it's almost like almost every player on these teams feels like they're all-star caliber. So then that kind of makes it that you have super teams. And is that what an A-League is? You know what I'm saying, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I hear it. It just, I think more so it talks to the just overall talent in the league, right? Why would we bring in a new team with six all-star caliber players and 4 people that you're just going to throw around? You know, like, to put in this league to win, you know, you have to put a very strong position player at every spot.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
This league, it's the A-Night League, it's no different, right? Like, all these leagues, we have a good pool of people that play in these leagues that are strong and that can be, you know, that you can roster a 10-person. It's just, I think it's more credits more to the league and the people that join it over just, like, you know, finding a random person to come in and sub for you.
I'll say it one more time and I'll be done. I won 1 championship Sunday morning and 1 championship at night. Both of my
So Avi, you're going out a champ. Avi, you're going out a champ at 28, you know?
We'll see if I'm going out. We'll see what happens. But Sunday morning and nights, I won 1 championship each. We arguably had the worst hitting team in the league both years. Arguably. Even this past Sunday morning, you know, team, but we still won a championship. And the answer is because the way he wins championships is if you have every single position on absolute lockdown and a pitcher who is competent, doesn't walk guys, and knows what he's doing, you will be in every single game and have a legitimate shot of winning a championship. And that's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter. Obviously, you can't be dysfunctional, but it doesn't matter if you score 2 runs a game or 6 runs a game. You'll still have a shot, like a legitimate shot. So,
listen, Dan Braun's great. I love playing with Dan Braun. He's our pitcher for the show league, and he's going to be pitching for us Sunday morning. Dan Braun's not going to overpower you. He may have a strikeout here and there. He will never Jack, did he walk anyone last year?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But that's
he will never walk.
You.
He will never walk anyone, and we play good defense around him. Yeah, just like what you're saying, Avi.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to win. Even my team in Muncie, like when I made the championship 2 years in a row, we never hit ever. And then we made the championship. Our defense was stellar for those 2 years. That's what it comes down to in softball. Defense.
Now that Morty's not anonymous anymore, you may as well just join.
Morty, first of all, mazel tov on your new baby boy.
Mazel tov.
What's having 3 kids like? Is it as much of a nightmare as having 2 kids?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Not such a difference. I don't know. I feel like I mean, not yet. Young.
He's young. I'm just kidding around.
No, I know. No, this part.
So give it to us, Morty. Let's go.
No,
Give
Jack,
it to us.
This take is not an anonymous take of mine. The Menachem poaching it, whatever. It's fine. I don't think he's gonna watch it anyway. But no, I just think Shuey, like, for years, you guys have definitely beaten us way more, obviously. But like, I feel like for years, like I know, like, we beat you in the semis a couple years ago in like the Sunday morning league. Well, I was like, I think the way the league is turning out now, when you have everyone is now like Avi, your team that won. You don't have to. I don't have to go into my team versus like Shuey, like, for history. Like, your team that won last year would have, even if it was still constructed the same way, like, it would have a 0% chance of winning. I mean, again, anyone can win any game with people that are talented. I still think our Wahoo's team could win any game, but like if you just have to play a perfect game. And I think that with I just think it's like Shuey, you were saying like in the last podcast that like your team is not a super team. Like it's our team from the Shoe League. First of all, it's your team from the Shoe League plus like 4 elite players or like 3-4 elite players, but that you took from other teams, which weakened the other teams. So I feel like it's pretty much
in this league you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm saying it's not just the Shoe League team.
It's the Shul League with 2 additional players.
Who are the 2 additional?
Noah and Menachem. I mean, if you consider Mikey, but Mikey has played with my whole life in Little League, whatever. Yeah. So if you want to consider Mikey also, yes, Mikey. So 3.
No, but my point is that that's 3, which is 30% of the team, and it's not just 3. Meaning it's not just adding 30%. It's also taking away key guys from other teams. You know what I'm saying? Meaning it's strengthening your team plus weakening other teams. So it's like a double.
Oh yeah, no. Let me get something there. Yeah, of course. Once we were bringing the Shul team to play, we're obviously going to do our best to make the roster as good as possible. So we had to fill up some holes because the guys who were left field, Eitan Dector, can't. Yeah, sorry.
No. To be clear, I'm not. I have no issue or criticism. No,
you're good, Shuey.
I have no issue or criticism of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like every player and every team should do what's best for them. I'm just saying in terms of like the league, like the Shoe League, like you said in the last podcast, it's a very good league. But there's only 4 like actual teams. Like there are 2 teams that everyone knows are by far the worst. So it's only 4 teams. So like or like the Monday Night League with like, you know, the Monday Night League, which is a very high level, the A League, which is very high level. Again, right now there's one team that's by far better than everyone else. But again, like it's four good teams, and everyone else is like the other 2 teams that are in it like aren't really competitive. So what I'm saying is that in this league, how many teams are there in the A League, Avi? And
6.
There's 6. So what I'm saying is that like I think like I like the Ross is like I know Shlomo says like, you know, I get it, like you won the B League, they're a rock solid team, like I love those guys, they're rock solid. Yeah, I think like I think my personal opinion is that what a more likely outcome of this, of like the super teams, is that there will be a 4-team A League it's high level, and then what's going to happen is that let's say how many teams are in the B League?
For Sundays, it's an open question right now, between 4 and 6.
Okay, so what I think is that it's like, again, like I know myself, Tovia, again, we're competitive. We want to still compete in the A League, and I think our team's improving too, even though we lost Menachem. But I think we're going to be better. We lost a few guys, but I think we're still going to be better. But I do think what's possible is that if at the end of the day, in this season or 2, even with our solid team, because we're playing against super teams, it's just not competitive. Us and Ross would just why wouldn't we just go to the B League and have like a very high level B League? Half the B League is just a very high level B League. Like, why would we not rather do that than compete with super teams? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's the risk. That's the risk of the super teams.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I get everything you're saying, and it's interesting in our basketball league now. We had this very interesting situation where we had one tier. We made 2 tiers. The first season of tier 2, we had 5 teams. And I brought a team. I haven't played basketball in 25 years, but I brought a team just to make sure that we would have enough teams. We needed 4. Tovia was coming with a team. I was coming with a team, this guy Balakana, and then we needed 1 more. We ended up getting 2 more. So Baruch Hashem worked out. The next season, now what we're having 12 teams in tier 2. Everybody's really beefing up. And now we're getting into Ariel Cohen style rules of like, oh, hey, Shuey. We're getting into Ariel Cohen style rules, which, okay. Mordy, Shuey couldn't stand your heat. He had to leave the chat. You know,
it was breaking up. Sorry.
So, you know, how many A players can be in the B League in basketball? But what I'm foreseeing is another situation where teams are really starting to get concentrated towards the top. So much so, also, I reached out, you know, Jack and Shuey are playing in this invitational league. I reached out to Ike Cohen to see if we could set up an intercamp game. I called it an all-star game. He's like, you mean an intercamp game? That's not an all-star game. I'm like, yeah, okay, I guess I mean an intercamp game. And you know, I'm really not convinced, even though it's an invitational, that our tier one wouldn't compete because you have teams that are working so hard. They're not super teams yet in our tier one, but it does seem like that's the way these tier ones kind of develop. You need to have an elite talent at every position. So basically, Morty, I'm sort of agreeing with you. I don't really know what the answer is. Tier B, we came up with this thing where you can't have too many tier one players in tier two. But what do you do for tier one? And the tier one guys are competitive guys. They want to win. So they're going to try to add an absolute stud at every position. I'm not sure if there's another way around it, kind of like Jack was saying. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
unless you
No,
yeah.
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm open-minded. No, don't get me wrong. I'm open-minded. It's been keeping me up at night for a couple of years now.
And I'll tell you whatever. I mean, this is another another opinion of strong opinion.
Go ahead, Morty. Lay it out. Little Jack Ross has thick. Even after getting boxed out by Jeff Suleimanov, he still has thick skin.
Yeah, I didn't leave the podcast like that.
No, but
I just don't know if there's a way to prevent it. One,
I agree. I agree. There's a way to prevent it. I'm not. And
at the end of the day, like I don't want to bash Tuvia. I play with Tuvia in the B League, but I don't think you'll ever be able to put a super team together with him pitching.
100%. I agree. But that's exactly the point. That's exactly the point I'm making. That's exactly the point I'm making, because what I'm saying is that the Wahoos with Tuvia, who again is not. You're right. He's not Koenig. He's not Pollen. He's not Kaufman. He's not. We're. I mean, not last year, though. I think like I don't really know. Whatever. It's been like 20 years. I don't really know. But like we've been very much so like in the semis. We've played in championships. Like because we've been able to like we beat Shuey and Adam in the semis a few years ago. Like we are able to like put together like again.
The other thing is that we weren't obviously constructing this as a super team. I think besides for Menachem, like Noah's friends with a lot of the guys on our team. Like it's essentially just the guys that we play with. It happens to just be a good team. So I don't know if we put this in the super team conversation.
But Noah and Menachem, I understand that. This is what I was trying to tell you. But Noah and Menachem both played for us last year. It's not. I know maybe the intention is not super team, but at the end of the day, you're taking two of like.
Who's the other guy? Menachem. Who's the other guy?
Noah played with Avi. He didn't play with you.
Yeah.
Gavi played with you, but Gavi's part of the Shul team. So if you were going to start with the Shul team, then Gavi was automatically out. You know.
I meant Gavi. Yeah, no, but that was what I was saying, is that you're taking guys. I know it's meaning intention or not. What I'm saying is that the league for years was there. Everyone was spread apart. The talent was spread apart, and it's no longer spread apart. I mean, again, this goes back to what I was saying originally. Where one of my strong opinions is that I do think, like, you know how in the Twillery tournament, you know how like there were so many guys where everyone was like, oh my God, this guy's really good. Oh my God, this guy's really good. Right? I've been playing in this league for literally, I don't know, over 15 years. And I had people coming over to me like, oh, whoa, who are you? What's your name? Like if I made a nice play. And
yeah, Morty, how many guys happened one time?
No, it did happen once. It did happen one time.
I'm just kidding. I'm just trolling.
No, I mean, seriously, it did happen once, and just after one play in the field. It wasn't like a big deal. But what I'm saying is that like you also there's a lot of, I think there is also a lot of, meaning how am I supposed to say this? When you're surrounded by all-stars, you automatically become a better player. You're automatically better, right? Because you're just on this rock solid team. If you make a mistake, it doesn't really matter. And like, as opposed to like, if you're on a little bit of a worse team, you're not going to be seen as this great player. Like,
Morty, I want to, yeah, I got you. I want to add in one thing. Tuvia has something that's very rare. And I see this with his basketball guys too. And I think it speaks to what a great guy Tuvia is. He's pretty much the only team that's largely a friend group. I think a lot of his teams are constructed that way, and he might be the only A-League team that's largely a friend group. Avi, I know obviously you and Zin and Rokach were friends, but like you had all these other guys. You didn't know Noah Aaron 2 years ago. You didn't know Ari Moskovich before.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's very, I think I'm getting it. Like, guys form squads often as friend groups. Like, you have like Asaf Fligelman's team in the B League where they're all friends. Asaf is a borderline A pitcher, but like he's got his boys, you know? I think I think if you built a really strong team around Asaf, he could win a championship in the A League. I don't know. Avi, do you agree with that?
Sure. If you put my defense behind him, maybe, as long as he's not walking guys consistently. But yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
Oh,
I have one other thought though, Dave, on this. Like, I know that I guess Morty at this point, you know, your team wasn't considered one, you know, probably a top 2 or 3 team in the league. But do you look at it from the other side of the coin, where it's like we only found out about Avi's team kind of folding in the last couple of days, but we announced our team first. We took some talent from the Bombers, a talent from Avi's team, and now you made it kind of a more spread out four teams versus another.
I think this is a misunderstanding. I'm saying nothing about Shuey, Adam, you about this team. I was when I texted Gottlieb. I'm just talking about the league in general, super teams in general. I think in these types of leagues, what's going to happen is that the teams that are a little bit worse, right? You're 100% right. With our team, again, I think our team generally for years is like I've always whatever. I mean, I don't want to get too into specifics, but like I've told Tavia for the last 5 years, like I think we have 1 or 2 weak links, and I think if you take out those weak links and just make them solid players, like not even very good, I think just solid players as opposed to weak links, I think we're able to compete, like legitimately compete strongly with the rest of the league. I really strongly believe that. I think I just think we're rock solid, like all around. Meaning even with Tovia pitching and him being worse than the elite pitchers. I mean, again, we had Benji. I mean, Benji's injured this year, but whatever. Benji, Gabi, Matt Siegel, Avrami, I think me, Menachem. Yeah, I think it's a rock solid team. I really do. But again, that being said, I just think that what happens in these leagues now is that we always believed, yeah, sure, we're the underdog against the 2 teams that are like better than us, but like we don't really think we think we could scratch and claw to those wins. And the teams like Avi's team, I know he won the championship, but like we didn't think we were underdogs to them. Like when we played them, we thought we had like it was pretty even teams. Like again, even with some elite talent on those teams, right? Even with Rokach on that team. Right, and Zin on that team. So, but now when everyone's on the same team, again, we're still competing in the E League. I'm sure we're still going to come into the season being like, yeah, we can, sure, yeah, you know, our team's better. We're gonna be fine. We can compete. But at the end of the day, if it is just a 3-team league, you know, 3 teams are undefeated or have 1 loss, and it's just to each other, and then the 3 teams on the bottom, you know, have 1 or 2 wins just against each other. So why, again, just like logically thinking, why wouldn't those 3 teams just go to a very competitive, high-level B League? Just because it's called a B League, like everyone will get over their egos, and we'll just like I'm saying if us and Ross and another strong team in the B League, you know, play each other, like we're fine with that. You know,
Well, I'll tell you too. I'll tell you a couple things. Let's wrap this up. 2 things. First of all, yeah, the answer is yes. If it's going to be a bring your own team league, there is extremely little you could do. And I don't think you blame Mordechai teams for wanting to win a championship. They're building as best team they can have to win a championship. Now, what are you going to do about it? 2 tiers. Either you could do what they do in Lakewood, which is create a tier 1A and a tier 1B. Or you could have more teams go to the B League, which, by the way, naturally, like in our basketball league, will turn into a much more competitive league. Right now in the B League, we only have 4 teams committed. 3 of those 4 teams were very much competitive with the bottom 3-4 teams in tier 1 of last year. So that could happen also, by the way. And that's fine. You know, you don't need, like David was saying, you don't need to be a bad softball player to be in the B League. You don't even need to be a good, you could be a very good player and still be in the B League, and have the A League have A and B have no connotation other than making equal talent. If you had 4 teams in the A League and 6 teams in the B League, it doesn't mean that if you have a team in the B League, you're a horrible softball player. It doesn't even mean you're not a very good softball player. It just means the team as a whole can't compete with other teams. So I personally think, let guys make decisions on their own. No one is forced to play in any division, and they will have competition in both tiers. Right now, there's 2 teams in the B League, 1 confirmed, 1 in the middle of confirmation, that are very talented teams that would put up a fight with a tier 1 team. They would not lose 12-0. They would not lose 10-0. Maybe lose 5-3 or 6-2. They don't want to join tier 1 because A, the intensity, and B, they want to win a championship. So there are choices to be made here. Everyone's trying to build a team to win a championship.
Yeah.
And if the style is a bring your own team style, there's really nothing that could be done when it comes to that. I don't think there's more. A draft will change everything. But people like playing with their guys to an extent. They like bringing their team. They like building a team to win a championship. They like being in control of winning a championship, and that's ultimately what it comes down to. Could we go to a tier 1A, a tier 1B, and a tier 2 like they do in LBA? We could. It's an option.
Well, I'll tell you. First of all, I'm friends with that. The Tabak Freed, Tovia basketball team. And from everything they tell me, that tier 2 league is amazing. They love that.
It's getting a lot better. The top team in tier 2 this year.
Yeah, and they just added a couple of studs. They whatever. The tier 2 there is becoming a problem now. Also, they added up Remy Zagelbaum and this other guy Portal. His name is, I don't know him.
Yeah, a good player.
Chaim Portal.
He's just. Sorry, studs might be strong. I actually don't know who he is.
Dropping like Jew ball names on the podcast. It's not good for you.
I may or may not be bringing my talents to Jew ball in the fall of 2026. This coming fall. I just need to. I need to regulate my time, figure out my schedule for the year. I spoke to Prager about it at the cheese store, which neither of you were at, unfortunately. But it's I want to become part of the cult. What?
I was gonna say we have to be a cult. I had my shul had a basketball tournament that night. I think that's why some guys also weren't there.
What's it called? Libby Kagan, a new sponsor, KGN Mixology, and where my shul is hosting a scholar in residence this job. So we're gonna have mixed drinks.
Sold out.
Sold out. Oh, you saw sold out.
Yeah.
By the way, even after selling out, we sold another 20 seats because I'm such a nice guy. So we're having 120 people. We're supposed to have 100, but we're having mixed drinks from Libby. Wait, let me finish. So he's wearing a Jew ball sweatshirt. And I asked about getting one. So that's my main goal. My main goal is to get on the Jew Ball chat and to get a Jew Ball sweatshirt that I can wear on the HSL podcast. And coming soon, fall 2026. It's too late now to get part of it for this year. Just doesn't work for me, but Mirtz Hashem fall.
He'll be happy that I'm plugging him. But you should look. You can't not know Chaim Portal on social media. He
used to make 7 figures. He claims. Avi said, "Is this possible?" I said, "No, it's bullshit. I don't know who the guy is, but there's no way this fucking Jew ball guy was making 7 figures. I never met him before, but
hey, calm down a little bit. Portal's he's a good guy. Now he does work for JSL now. So
his brother is my brother-in-law.
We gotta be a little bit careful.
Sorry.
The guy, but he's
sorry. I don't know who the guy is. What does he do on social media? What does he do?
He's just a social media. He's like a pump up. Like those Twitter.
Oh, he's DJ CP.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a sweetheart. I've been communicating with him. I didn't realize it's the same. I know him as DJ CP. Oh, he's a sweetheart of a guy. Sorry, take back everything I said.
My sister.
I'm sure the guy who was on Central Avenue collecting WhatsApp phone numbers used to be making 7 figures. He's living the dream. He's living the dream, flirting with Five Towns moms on Central Avenue.
Is hard and full time, Dave, to run their marketing and media.
Good for them. He's great. He's a really nice guy. A really nice guy. Sorry, Morty. I actually have a meeting in a minute, so I got to jump.
Yeah. I have to go in a minute, but Avi, the tier. What I think that tier, the A League tier 1, tier 2. I think the reason why I think that
I got to drop, guys. Sorry.
That might be a
Jack.
That might be what ends up happening eventually, is because what happens is that everyone gets impacted. So, like, again, let's just say in a year or two, teams like us and Ross go to the B League, and then the top of the B League is fantastic level, all right? It's A-level softball. But then you have all the teams on the bottom of the B League that the whole reason they want to play because it's not intense, it's chill, it's not.
Then you got to create a C League. It's impossible. It's impossible to avoid.
I agree. It's impossible.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't blame anyone.
We have to wrap. Let's see how this plays out. I'm still confident that a team like the Robins will compete with these 3 teams. I'm even confident that a team like Shlomo Ross might compete. And I think Tovia with pickups, I think could compete. Well, again, the time will tell, right? We're going to go through the league. We'll see how it plays out. You never know. I will say that I'm excited. There's 6 tier 1 teams. We're working on a tier 2. Guys, you're watching this. You want to play softball. You want to bring a tier 2 team. It's not Nebuch. I promise. The top 2 tier 2 teams are really legitimate. Like, they're really good teams.
Why don't you tell us who they are?
Well, Ari Slamowitz is bringing a team that's very strong. He's combining 2 of the top teams from last season. One of them didn't work out. There's a potential team in the works. David Gottlieb may or may not be
coaching
or running. That's to be very competitive. Beanstalk is picking up the pieces from Jacob Gelb's team last year and also trying to.
Morty, you don't know Beanstalk. You don't know Beanstalk, do you? Nah, you wouldn't know.
He was
Not
playing on
by
Global
Needham,
Red Bulls, him, Michael Cota, trying to pick up the pieces there with Jacob Gelb, of course, is a very good pitcher. A lot of competitive teams, and we're very excited for the season. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see what I end up doing. All I know right now is I'm going to be a regular in Muncie, so there's that. And we'll see what my players end up doing. I have to address this voiceover with Sully Freeman now and see what he has to say. I wouldn't be shocked if he says 48 hours later we'll try to bring back our team after not answering for 48 hours, but that's good old Sully Freeman.
Nah, Sterling can't captain it. He's not captain material. Sterling's the kind of guy. He's an absolute stud, but you don't know if he's playing till 3 a.m. on Sunday morning. I captained 2 teams with Sterling. I captained maybe even more. I might have captained even 3 seasons with Sterling on my squad. Amazing person, but you don't know if he's playing till 3 a.m.
Wait,
Because that's
Avi,
about when. Yeah.
Avi, what was your communication with Shirley before? Meaning, your team's gone. Your team's not happening, right?
My team's done. Yeah. Well, it's very simple. No, I left a couple weeks ago. He's a great player. My team construction didn't affect too much. Once Rogakazin left, then Lowinger said that he hates Sunday mornings. He plays because of the squad we have, so he wasn't so down. I put on my team chat that I would love to pitch. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't have the energy, which everyone's so upset. What do you mean, the energy? You're a kid. Like, I promise you, I want to have the energy. You will not find a guy who is more obsessed with softball in his life than me. Not Steve Pollen, not Glenn, not anyone. No one will be maybe as much, not more than me. Impossible. I don't have the physical energy. It's just not in me to do this. I put on my chat that if anyone wants to, run the team, then go ahead. I waited a solid 8 or 10 hours. If anyone was even interested, PM me. No one would PM me that they might be interested. I said, guys, like, what do you want me to do? I don't want to hold you guys hostage. I don't have the headspace to start this over again. Which people say, what do you mean start over? It's just 2 players. As I explained, it's not just 2 players. It's more than that when it comes to winning a Tier 1 championship. No one responded. So I said, guys, I'm closing the chat. I love you guys. I'm happy we won a championship. We played 5 years together. I'll do my utmost to find you each teams. Well, I'm working on already 5 guys on my team, finding them a separate team. Another guy, Benji Ashkenazi, found a team. And hopefully, if Shirley's willing, I'll find him a team also. But my team is done. So at least for now. So we'll see.
I just want to make one thing clear before I go off, because I feel like maybe I came on and people maybe it was misconstrued. I have no issue with any team or anyone. I've been criticized. I've left a couple teams probably not the best way both times. Probably if it ever happened the third time, I think I'd do it differently. I had people not happy with me both times that I've done it, but I've been poached, whatever, twice before. I have no issue. I have no problem. Everyone's got to do what they think is.
You know what? This whole poaching business, one thing I would just say is it could be we should kind of make a not a rule, obviously, but kind of like, they say it's not nice, but they say it's not illegal, but it's bad form. Like, you ever hear that term? It's not whatever, but it's bad form. Maybe we should make a thing that, like, December 15th or something, or December 31st, like, I think December 15th actually. If you're leaving your previous teams, we should make like a
you can't leave your team hanging in February now looking for 5 guys.
Yeah, something like that. Obviously it's unofficial, and there's always hurt feelings, but at least you're giving your team time. And if if you have so much internal conflict about it, get a psychologist. If you can't decide by December 15th, 3 months after the season ended, the regular seasons all end by September 15th. Then get a shrink, and that's what I'm here for. And, and that's why I get paid the big bucks. Call me up. All right. We got to stop. Morty, thanks for coming on. It's always a pleasure. Mazel tov again.
And lastly, everyone stop overreacting. The Mets will be better than last year.
Steve Cohen is dead to me. He got his casino and whatever. All right, guys.
Stop. Too emotional.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, guys.